Hi, I'm here to show you how to fire your trebuchette. First, I want to point out exactly how it looks when it's assembled, and point out a couple things in particular that can give you trouble if you miss them a little bit in the assembly. When you look at the basket, notice that the basket has the spacer on the end of the arm, and that spacer holds the basket at the center of the arm. If you don't have that stuck down right on top of the axle, then the basket can slide side to side and it will hit the frame of the machine. Next, take a look at the sling. The sling should have one string tied through each of two sides of the sling, and those strings should lead out with one going to the end of the arm and the other going to the little black plastic washer. When you put these together, you should wrap the strings around so that the sling is about the evenly length when you hook this on here, and so that the whole thing hangs at about the top of the frame. If this is too long or too short, or if it's very uneven, then it won't hold on to the projectile and it won't fire very well. Now, let's get started. So we're going to have our machine here, and I'm going to be sitting to one side of it. Never sit behind or in front of the machine, because you're in danger of getting hit by the projectile whipping around. In our case, we're going to fire it this way, and that means that we pull the sling around this way when we arm it. I'm going to take my projectile, put it in the sling, and fold the sling over so that it holds it top to bottom. Now, I'm going to make sure that this string here and this string here aren't tangled up and aren't tangled around the main arm. So we're going to look out and make sure that it's completely straight and even and isn't twisted around the machine or the other string. Now go ahead and take a look real quick at this pin and see how I can adjust the angle of the pin. Now for indoor firing, for the projectiles that come with the kit, you'll want something pretty far forward, and this will change the angle that it releases at. You can click it forward or back, just with a little finger press, and you'll have to experiment to find what works best with you. It'll depend on the projectile and it'll depend on how you're aiming. Now, I'm going to put this here and hook the pin through the washer. Then, I'm going to use one hand to pull the projectile down and all the way under the machine. And I'm going to grab the projectile with my other hand. You can see it here on the other side. And then I'm going to let it rest against the rails and hold it with just one finger. So let me show you how I'm holding it here. See how the strings are coming straight away from the sling, and the sling is just being held with a little bit of pressure against the rails. Now when I'm ready, I can aim the machine with my other hand, and then when I want to fire, I just let go. And that's it. Go ahead and give it a try, and it takes a little bit of practice, so don't feel bad about having to experiment the first couple times. Try different amounts of weight. Here I only have one. And try different angles here. Good luck.